Everybody, it's your boy JT opposite from the norm. As you can see up there, um, Mr. Russell Simmons, he spoke on his sexual assault allegations, social responsibilities, and other things, and also, what's going on in the community and stuff like that with the police, with law enforcement. So, I wanted to do a show on this. First of all, I was on the Straight to It podcast earlier. Shout out to my brothers, Low Key, John Horse, John Indy, all them brothers over there, man. West versus the people, Straight to It podcast, y'all check it out. But anyways, I was just watching some of this interview. As y'all can see, I'm at the 25 mark. I'm gonna probably try to finish watching this, before I go to sleep. Get ready for the next day, Lord's willing. It's 3:33 in the morning. But I wanted to talk to y'all about something on this situation. And let me set it up first. This is not to be some they always trying to take powerful black men down rant. This is not, these people have done so many good things in the community. How could he be a rapist rant? Because like my partner HD always says, just because somebody been doing all these great things don't mean they couldn't be something else. So it's not about that, I don't want any women, especially feminist women, to act crazy when I say what I say to make it seem as if I'm trying to take Russell Simmons' side. Because like I said in my disclaimer just now, it's not they always trying to take black men down shit. Because now I'm seeing as I get older that you have guys that we looked up to and thought it was great symbols of what a man should be, especially a black man that hustle, motivated to do great things, but come to find out he was a dirty motherfucker, like i.e. Bill Cosby. You know what I'm saying? We don't have proof what he's done in the past, but that's a lot of allegations, around 20 or something like that, to come out. I don't know, because me personally, I felt like when he said what he said about 45, when the race was on, that's when they started highlighting these things. But I'm not saying whether he's innocent or guilty, because I don't know. But it's not about black men being torn down by the white establishment. Totally separate from that. My point on this is because I was watching the show and I was looking in the comments, and a lot of people were saying, "Oh, he's in Bali because they can't extradite him." I looked it up. Come to find out, that's not necessarily true. Laws has been changed, especially since 2015, and I seen something that said around 2017 they arrested like 12 people on a lot of different cases, especially sexual assault. So if this is true, and somebody could have allegedly told Russell that you'll be straight over there in Bali, they setting his ass up. And always all this free technology and Google search, which you got Wikipedia and then anything you want to find on the internet nowadays that people put out there and put knowledge out there. He'd be a stupid motherfucker to go over there and think he can get away in Southeast Asia. They'll get your ass. But like I said, this conversation is because a lot of people were judging on his character of how he presented himself, because he was in a yoga stance and in an Indian, Indian kneel, seated position, and, it's a gold thing behind him and all that. Y'all can look it up if y'all want to. They go to the link right there. Y'all can look it up. Or what you can look up for YouTube for the Breakfast Club interview. But a lot of people I ain't buying it. He guilty. And I'm just like, wow. So if he would just stay silent, stayed in Bali, and then said nothing, the same way Bill Cosby said nothing, the same way, I ain't gonna lie, Harvey Weinstein looked like a nasty motherfucker to me. He just looked like a nasty motherfucker. But when you look at Bill Cosby and Harvey Weinstein not saying nothing, letting the lawyer say shit, and then the only thing we have to go off is people's story and witnesses of his character, versus these people coming out and saying stuff to defend themselves. So I have to commend Russell Simmons on speaking for himself versus just letting the narrative be out there and letting it be what it is. So it's like he speaks about Oprah Winfrey looking at the situations that he presented to her, that these stories on this documentary about him had too many inconsistencies on the stories, and he says allegedly she ultimately walked away. I never really read on it. I think I heard somebody. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. But allegedly, from what he said, she walked away because the stories was too inconsistent and would make her look bad. But HBO Max still ran the story. But I digress. Once again, like I said, he's saying what he need to say. He said he took 9 separate 3-hour polygraph tests on these cases, um, passed all of them. You know what I'm saying? From 2 different polygraph people that are highly reputable. Excuse me, y'all. Reputable, um, in their field of expertise. So, like I said, when you look at the situation, when people don't say nothing, they just let the lawyers speak for them. People start being able to assume and formulate their own opinions. And then my other question would be, so if a person is saying they're not guilty, besides letting their lawyer speak, they want to come out and say something. Okay, the lady Salil Abrams, I think that's her name. She's the one who's bringing these cases forward. She brought the case forward, or the allegations from the accuser for AJ Calloway, the brother that used to be on 106 in Park, and she's the one that brought the allegations towards Russell Simmons. Now, let me digress here. It is kind of strange. I'm gonna say this just a little bit, but I don't want to go too deep into that. Like I said, because on my disclaimer, this is not about black men being torn down. But I do question, why is it that the only people she's talking about is just black women? But let me say this: her thing is activism for black women. You know what I'm saying? And I think that, since I believe the lady that's part of the Me Too movement, I don't know, she started. I was watching something with Corey Holcomb and Zoe Williams was talking about the sister that's making allegations towards Joe Biden, and you know what I'm saying. So I'm like, why she's not talking about that case? That's her sister talking about somebody that happens to be white. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of do look, kind of questioning, like, why is it just going after black men? But she says it's for a sister, so that is the answer right there. But back to what I was saying, she pointed out the fact that Title, who has a deal, and I think Revolt does too, if I'm not mistaken, with Drink Champs. Drink Champs had Russell on in the midst of the conversation about what was going on with George Floyd, got arrested, so with that case, and police brutality and things of that nature. And he had Russell Simmons on, but initially in the beginning of it, it's Mark Lamont Hill, my son, and Talib Kweli. So Boyce Watkins brought this to the light before I looked it up. I didn't notice, but I watched this last night, I believe, and he was talking about how Mark Lamont Hill was talking about, he was surprised that Russell Simmons was on there, because he would not have joined the panel discussion if he knew Russell Simmons was going to be on there, because he believes the women. And somebody made a comment like, well, why you didn't stand up and say something? And I forget what his response was, if he even responded. But, it is like, okay, so, yeah, why didn't you say anything? But he said while Russell Simmons was talking, he texted the producers of the show and was mad about it. And then Noriega had took it off. Him and the show and Title and all them took it off the part that he's on, because Mark Lamont Hill didn't want him on there. So then Nori issued an apology to Mark Lamont Hill on Twitter publicly, and was saying he apologized. He never intended for something like that to happen. He didn't know that it was an issue with them, or how he felt about Russell Simmons at that point. And he apologized, and then the lady Salil Abrams retweeted the apology Nori sent to Mark Lamont Hill, and it was like, trash ass clown. And she was pointing these things out, because she was like, how can you even give voice to a rapist? And she blamed the Breakfast Club. But the Breakfast Club asked them questions about him, let him express himself about it. And this is my thing. So the only light we should give is to the accuser, and then let the accused person not speak their truth. You know what I'm saying? Like, because with AJ Calloway, I looked up that situation, part of that situation, and it was saying his case was thrown out because this happened while he was at Extra, and they went their separate ways. Basically, they booted his ass and fired him. But they didn't give him a speedy trial and actually let the facts play out, whether he was guilty or not in this case. So, but the lady is saying he's still a rapist. He shouldn't be on Extra. Why is he still on there? And they fired him or let him go, whatever. They say mutual, just going separate ways mutually. But it's like, so if somebody is maintaining their innocence, they should not be allowed to speak on it. You know what I'm saying? That's just the question I'm asking. If that person is maintaining their innocence, should they be, gagged and not being able to speak what they feel is their truth, just like the accuser did? You dragging this person's name through the mud or giving allegations, and you know what I'm saying, Russell had to step down from a lot of things. There is a lot of guys that have been falsely accused and lost their livelihood, things that they really built up, and lost businesses, lost careers, and their name has been ruined. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, so that person shouldn't be able to defend themselves because you believe the woman. What if that woman is lying? Because I don't see nobody calling out the women that lie about these things. I never see the case. You know what I'm saying? You never see situations where somebody was lied on and then the people called them out. They're fucking lied. They should go to jail for wasting taxpayers' money for lying. You don't see that. That should be a law against that too, possibly. If you lie on somebody and come to find out it was a lie, then they should go to jail too. Like, look at Tupac, my favorite artist, right? So looking into the case, I see people was upset with Vlad for even interviewing Pac's former accuser, but he said she reached out to him. And I'm kind of glad he did, because you never knew who was that person. Pac wasn't allowed to say. He said she could sue him for it. And he said even though she could stand and say Tupac Shakur, he couldn't say her name because he could get sued for it. And this man went through that all the way to his grave. Thank God a lot of people showed him love. Like, I don't believe it, because I didn't believe it. But at the same time, I think it was good that Pac was able to speak his truth, like, what he felt was his truth and his, situation. Because a lot of people, it was a lot of other people in that trial that didn't go to jail. And I think it was somebody who did go to jail, but it was like, you don't know who their name was. And then, but Pac maintained his innocence. And then the lady finally came out, and the story that she was giving made no sense. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, let both stories be told. And, if we're going to go off public opinion, let's go off the facts then. Don't let it just be, oh, he looks guilty, or he ain't said nothing. Because we always say he don't say nothing. So that would be my question to y'all. You know what I'm saying? Should a person who's maintaining their innocence not be able to speak? Because the lady Salil Abrams was saying that, why y'all giving a platform to this person? So he shouldn't be able to speak if he's maintaining his innocence? You know what I'm saying? I see if it was a situation where it was proof by police reports that he did this to her. But you got to realize, this allegation was, I believe, 94. That was 26 years ago. It was either between 94 and 96 or something like that. So from 24 to 26 years ago, same situation with Bill Cosby. If there's no proof in this situation, then how can we just say he's guilty? How can we say, shut up, he has no right to talk about this situation? You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, because what if we find out he's innocent? Are we going to scrutinize this woman? Are we going to push laws in for women like her to go to jail? You get what I'm saying? So I think we got to be careful about saying that this is the country of freedom of speech, and then a person who's maintaining their innocence can't even speak. Just, I'm just asking a question. Y'all let me know how y'all feel, dude. If a person is maintaining their innocence in a situation like that, should they or should not be able to speak? Just a question. Y'all like, comment, share. This is your first time checking out Opposite from the Norm. Make sure you subscribe. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you subscribe. So I'm gonna get back at y'all. Y'all let me know in the comment section.